Welcome to the Halo Outreach Podcast, where we reach out to you, the Halo community, to keep you up to date on everything that's going on in the Halo universe.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another awesome episode of the Halo Outreach Podcast, the podcast that keeps you up to date with everything going on in Halo. We are on Spotify and Podbean. Keep that in mind as well. If you don't want to utilize your phone battery while watching this awesome video, if you just want to listen in, get the same information, just as good, right? We're always joined here every week with our awesome co-host, Pantman Gaming. Why don't you say hello?
What is going on, people? Thank you for supporting us. Welcome back to another episode.
Week 51, episode 51.
51.
If like, we almost have an entire year almost worth of content. If you want to feel so inclined to re-listen to everything for the past year,
do it
once a week. We got it right there.
Yeah, we've had some good ones. I mean, we kind of kicked it off with a bang with the very first episode having 343 on. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty. I was very surprised that it was like, yeah, sure. I'm like,
Unproven podcast, first episode. I mean, they've probably heard of you, but they're like, who the frick is this Patman guy? I don't know about him. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll come on. I'm like, okay, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, today on the video for the podcast, guys, we have some Halo Infinite news. Phil Spencer kind of brought up the idea of splitting up Halo Infinite's release again. I was kind of surprised about that one.
Yep.
And we got some also some rumblings going on with like the Halo Pro scene and what that means for a potential release of some information coming up pretty soon for us guys. We also have some information on Halo 4 flight process. As you can probably tell, you're not playing it right now, and there's a reason why. But before, and then of course we also finish up with some new nameplates we got a chance to earn for the Halloween event for MCC, and some other fun little game modes you can jump in with that. And obviously run it out with some playlist updates for Halo 5 and MCC, because there's one playlist you definitely need to be playing right now if you're trying to grind your 152 in Halo 5. Before we get into all that, Pat, how you been? It's been a week. What you been up to? What you been playing? How are things?
Well, that's a lot to throw on me there, Kevin, but I'm going to try to answer every single one of your questions. I am doing good. Hope everybody else is. Hope you are. During this time, of course, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and it's probably going to get worse in the winter, so gearing up for that. But as far as playing stuff, got that big weight off of my shoulders with MCC now, so I'm just like enjoying video games again. So that's been awesome to not be grinding lasso and just punishing myself.
You got all the achievements now.
All the achievements. I got them all, baby.
All the achievements.
And then let's talk about a little bit about the Cold War beta, because me and you have actually been enjoying it. It's not really that much of a surprise to me. I mean, I didn't really like Black Ops 4 multiplayer that much. I did enjoy Blackout. But for the most part, I always enjoy Treyarch games. Like I've been a huge fan of Treyarch since Black Ops 1. I missed out on World at War. That was a little bit before my time playing Call of Duty. But Black Ops 1 is my favorite COD. Our favorite COD, I should say. And this one is set in that era with a lot of callbacks to the original Black Ops and Black Ops 2, which is really, really cool. So yeah, we've been enjoying this beta, and I'm actually really looking forward to the game now. I was very worried about this game because it's been surrounded by controversy, especially with the canceled, this was supposed to be Sledgehammer's game, and then they got pulled off the project, and Treyarch got told to...
halfway through.
Yeah, and Treyarch got told, hey, guess what? You know how you usually get 3 years to make a game, after we, went from the 1 year dev cycle? Well, now you have 2 years. Good luck. And
got him.
Got him. And for the most part, man, it plays pretty good. It feels really good. I tried mouse and keyboard, man. I still can't I can't wrap my head around mouse and keyboard, especially Call of Duty. It's so fast paced. I got to use the controller. But for zombies and stuff, I'll probably use mouse and keyboard. But really, really, really enjoying it, which is kind of nice to enjoy Call of Duty again, because I was not a big fan of Modern Warfare's multiplayer. Yeah, what do you think about it?
I've actually been really enjoying it as well. I've been grinding quite a bit on it. I think just in the beta, I played on since the pre-order PC beta, so like on Thursday or whatever. The Tower making this is Sunday, and I think I'm almost like level 40. On the on that. So I've been playing it a ton, and I've actually been really enjoying it. Obviously, this is like a snippet of the game. It's not you don't have all the kill streaks. I don't even think you have all the perks.
I don't think all the weapons are there either.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
so right now, like it feels very standard Call of Duty, which is kind of what we've been missing really for the last few years. Modern Warfare tried doing that, but then they tried also changing the formula to where like they went with like a realistic kind of style, like, oh, it's just like how you would be in real life. But yeah, but real life gun battles kind of suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's a reason why it's like gameplay over realism kind of
Exactly. It's a
situation.
video game. And Call of Duty's
And
never really took itself too seriously, you know?
now, I will say, like, these maps definitely do feel more like multiplayer
Way
maps
better.
compared
Yeah.
to like Modern Warfare's, which felt like actual areas that were kind of like gameplay oriented, which is kind of cool. But then it just doesn't lend itself to good gameplay. The maps are a lot better. The time to kill is quite a bit slower as well. So it's not like you're just instantly deleting people as soon as you see them. And then like the perk bounce is pretty good. The gun bounce is pretty good as well. I didn't see anything that was overly annoying or anything like that. The only problem I had is just skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah.
Like I should have clipped some of these guys I was playing against because like some of the stuff I'm just like, this is the stuff these are the people I'm playing against. Like I'm casually playing Call of Duty because I'm like mainly a Halo player, you know?
Right.
And so I'm playing against guys who are just like quick scoping, like 4 guys in a row in my kill cams. And like I saw there was like one like best play where the guy killed like 7 people defending a hill, like slip sliding, swapping weapons, and just like doing everything. I'm like, I'm not that good.
Right.
How am I playing against these people? It's like it's just insane. But like it hasn't been it's been tough, but not too bad, really.
Yeah, I don't think it's been that bad. You know me, I'm not the type of person that to complain about skill-based matchmaking. I get the argument that some people make. You know, people want to play Call of Duty casually, but if it works correctly, I would like to play against people my skill because then I feel like I'm getting better at the game instead of just crapping on kids. And you're not gonna get better by just playing bots. You know, like people are just like, I just got this weight for Christmas, and you know, where the map? I don't know how to play this map. You know, like I don't want to face people like that. Yeah, sure, it feels good, but am I getting better at the game? But that's just the competitive spirit in me. I'm always trying to. Yes, I want to crap on kids, but also at the same time, I want to, you know, get better at the game so that when I do face a team that's, you know, better than me, that, you know, I could still put up a fight. But I do get that. I mean, that's Call of Duty's always been that casual kind of shooter where you're supposed to just crap on kids every once in a while because it's random matchmaking, and skill-based matchmaking kind of nips that in the butt.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the most part, I haven't really gotten like, I've done pretty well. As long as I'm playing on the controller, I've done pretty well and held my own on the game.
I've been playing on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah,
and I've been liking it. It definitely feels better than it does like in Halo on mouse and
Oh,
keyboard.
definitely. I can agree with. Like sniping, dude. If I'm sniping and I know I'm gonna be sniping for a while, I will play on the mouse keyboard because it feels amazing. But like running, that's the biggest thing that I love about this Call of Duty. Running gun is back. I felt like Modern Warfare really punished. That's my playstyle. I like to just run around, SMG, AR, shotgun, and just take it to the enemy team. And I felt like Modern Warfare kind of punished me for doing that, you know? Like the way Modern Warfare was built with the maps and the encourage of being more tactical or camping is the way I like to call it. They call it tactical. I call it camping. The way the maps were built, the way the sound design was set up, the way the perks were set up, it really favored a slower play style. The time to kill, like you get shredded from 17 different angles because of the map design. Like there's so many lines of sight. There's definitely lanes are back in this Call of Duty, and you could, you know, sit and head glitch, which, you know, yeah, some people don't like that, but you don't have to worry about getting shot from 17 different angles. There's maybe 1 or 2 or 3 that you have to worry about, and that's a lot more manageable. So I really do like that about this game, and yeah, for the most part, I think we both really enjoy it, and I look forward to playing it until Halo Infinite comes out. So
true. Yeah, I think the only downside, I think the ground war mode, the 12v12 combined arms.
Yeah, I've only played a couple matches. It's kind of a snooze fest.
Yeah, you throw in vehicles with it, and you have like only 24 people on the map, but then you have like 6 capture points or 5 capture points or something like that.
Yeah.
So then like each time there's only like maybe like, and with all the vehicles and stuff like that, you might have like out of this 12 people on the team, 8 of them are actually on the ground shooting, you know?
Right.
And so it's a pretty slow pace. Like it's definitely needs to have like double the player size and make it fun.
We have to try out if you hop back on for the night, because I'll be on it later tonight. There is a mode. I don't think I haven't played it. I don't think you have either, but it's 10 teams of 4 go off and like in a forest and there's like objectives and stuff. I really want to try that out because I heard it's a lot of fun if you have a group of people. So we'll have to give
I didn't
that one a
touch that
try.
one because that one you definitely need like a coordinated group
you don't want randoms in that one. A lot of people say it's not fun unless you have friends on. So yeah, we'll have to give that a try because that looks pretty interesting.
But this is a Halo podcast. You know that?
What? Oh, are people triggered because we're talking about Call of Duty?
We just ran about Call of Duty for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, screw it.
It's a new thing. That's what we were mainly playing. And every Call of Duty release is like a moment it's like a snapshot within the gaming environment, especially for first-person shooters. Yeah. Even if Call of Duty, some of them suck, some of them are good. I think this one is looking to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably the best one.
Let's move on to the Halo
Black
Infinite.
Ops 2, but yeah. Anyway,
Infinite. I liked Black Ops 3, but yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, we got some Halo Infinite news. Mainly, I think the big thing we're talking about here is the Phil Spencer article on Kotaku.
Yeah.
It kind of brought up the talking about the point about possibly releasing Halo Infinite as a separate, like in pieces,
segmented kind of launch.
Yeah. Which I thought, they kind of nipped that one in the bud back in August, especially with sketching like this is not happening.
Right.
And they brought it up in this article again because it was mostly talking about like the Series X, talking about the Bethesda,
the ZeniMax acquisition,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and talking about like it's like dude, like that was almost twice the amount Disney paid for Star Wars. Like, are you guys gonna be able to recoup that? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, they asked Phil, which was a very interesting thing because I think Aaron Greenberg came out, either Greenberg or Matt Booty came out and said something along the lines that, expect, basically what was in place before we acquired ZeniMax, that will honor that. So like there's a certain game from Bethesda that's coming or from one of the companies that's coming that was supposed to come first on PlayStation and then released on later consoles, and they are going to honor that. But then, it's talking more specifically about maybe like the next Doom or the next Wolfenstein or Elder Scrolls 6 and stuff like that, or Fallout, a new Fallout, if that would be Xbox exclusive. And they said basically yes, but that it's a case-by-case basis. Basically that's what they said in the Kotaku article as well. They're like, they asked Phil, like, can you recoup that $7.5 billion acquisition just making your stuff exclusive to Xbox and PC? And in short, Phil said, yeah, we can, which I believe him. I mean, they got Game Pass. They have the PC platform, which has more players than anything. And, xCloud, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. There's a bunch of gamers under the Xbox banner, I should say.
Yeah.
And I truly believe they will, and hopefully they do keep it exclusive because that's a big part of, drawing people to your platforms. Even if you're just an XCloud player, if you can only play, and you don't have to buy a system, and you can only play Elder Scrolls 6, which is, of course, going to be a huge deal, and Starfield will be a big deal, and the new Fallout, if you can only play those on something that Xbox owns, that's a huge win for Xbox. But they have done it in the past. Outer Worlds was multi-platform that released on PlayStation. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, I think, was Nintendo Switch as well, and Xbox. So, they've definitely done it before. Cuphead released on the Switch and Xbox and PC. So, they've done it before, and obviously you make more money the more platforms you release it on. But definitely be interesting to see what they do in the future.
And they also did mention about how they've been in talks with Nintendo, and Phil Spencer just kind of said what we've been talking about has been pretty good. So I think there's going to be some kind of collaboration there. Like, remember that
Zelda on Xbox, and I will cry. Yeah. Okay, I will freaking cry.
Like, I know you guys remember like that video game awards that they like the guy from like Phil Spencer, the guy from Nintendo, and the guy from Sony, all and like Ubisoft and all these other like video game execs got up on stage and like, we're gonna work together now, kind of thing.
Sony just like has a gun like pointing at Phil Spencer, like, yeah, sure, whatever you say, guy.
And it's like, it was just a bunch of like empty words, but like I think they were kind of trying to put the point, like then like we started seeing crossplay stuff happen. So
and Nintendo and Xbox have been playing pretty friendly. I mean, like you said, with the crossplay stuff, they meant it. Sony was really against the whole crossplay thing. They're kind of coming around now too. especially like Sony was like, no, we wouldn't ever release our games on other platforms. And now you see some Sony exclusives going to PC, like Horizon Zero Dawn. And hopefully like other games like God. I would love to be able to play God of War because I did.
Death Stranding with the PC as well.
Yeah, get Death Stranding with the PC. There's rumors of Bloodborne coming to PC, which I would love. So, and they've been more open with the crossplay thing, and then they're kind of building their stuff with the cloud infrastructure as well. They even partnered with Microsoft. Microsoft owns Azure, however you want to pronounce it, and Sony basically admitted they needed help in the cloud marketplace, that they couldn't really use that, any other tech, and they went with Microsoft and partnered with them. But, Microsoft and Nintendo, yeah, they've been playing great together. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie appeared on Smash Bros. That's a Microsoft-owned IP, even though that used to be on Nintendo back when Rare was with Nintendo. Rare's now with Microsoft. So, Phil Spencer's really been pro-consumer and pro-gamer, honestly. And I love to see that. But, yeah, let's talk about that. Kotaku basically asked Phil Spencer, hey, would you guys consider offering Halo Infinite's campaign at a different time than the multiplayer if one is complete before the other? And Phil Spencer was quoted as saying, Bonnie Ross, who is the head of Halo at 343, and the team will drive those decisions. But I think we want to make sure people feel like they have a Halo experience. I think we can look at options like that. He said any decisions like that would have to factor in the structure of the game and the story's telling. And then he also was quoted as saying, so yeah, I think that's something to think about, but we want to make sure we do it right. End of the quote there. Which isn't really shooting it down. He's not saying, no, that's not happening, even though Sketch came out and said no. But he is saying, the very first thing he's saying is it's up to 343. I don't know how true that is because Microsoft is the publisher and obviously they have a big say in what goes on as well. But I'm sure the way Phil Spencer comes across, who knows what he is behind the scenes, but everything we know from a public standpoint from Phil Spencer is he is for the gamers. He is for the better of the product. He is pro-consumer. Look at things like Scalebound was canceled. Even though everybody was hyped for that game, he canceled it because he didn't believe in it. That takes balls to do. And if he says that it's up to 343, then hopefully he's telling the truth with that. Obviously Phil has quite a big amount of pull because he's the head of Xbox, but, I'm sure he respects the decisions of the developers, and I'm sure if it was really up to him, Halo Infinite might have launched with the Series X. You don't want your system to launch without any games that, people want to play. Like, you want to buy a system to play an awesome exclusive, and Halo Infinite was supposed to be that. And I'm sure it was really hard for him to go on ahead and agree to delay the game. But 343 probably came to him. They're like, dude, we need more time. I'm sorry. It's been 5 years, I know, but we really have a vision here. We want to see it through. We want to make sure we give the best product possible. And Phil, I give Phil props. Honestly, Xbox had a really rough last gen, but about halfway through that gen when Phil took over for the awful Don Matrick, he saved a sinking, if you ever played Sea of Thieves and you have to bucket out the water of a sinking ship, that's what Microsoft and Xbox was, a sinking ship when Phil took over, and he slowly but steadily has really changed the perception of Xbox, and I honestly love absolutely everything he's done with the Xbox brand,
And I think he's doing a great job of leveraging the different assets that Microsoft has to integrate with their game, like the Azure servers, the cloud computing kind of stuff, putting more emphasis on the PC side of things, because most people, like a vast majority of people, use Windows for their platform. So like you really have all these people like eligible to game. Just give them the opportunity, Game Pass, mixing it all together kind of thing with the Ultimate on top of that for console, and then you have your own consoles. And then
including xCloud with that too. Yeah, like that's huge.
That's one thing that Microsoft finally realized. And like, oh wait, we have all these different outreaches that we've already built without even thinking about how they can interconnect with each other.
And the narrative's really changed too since Satya Nadella took over as CEO of Microsoft. He, like, back when Matrick, and even when I think it was when Phil Spencer took over as well, Xbox had a limited budget, and Satya Nadella's like, yo, open checkbook now for Xbox. Like, gaming is where it's at. Like, yo, invest because there's billions and billions of gamers out there.
It's
invest.
Still growing.
Yeah, and it's still growing. Invest. And look at a $7.5 billion. not to mention all the other companies. And Microsoft said they're not done. Xbox isn't done buying studios. Like that was the biggest. First, it was power, and Microsoft nipped that in the butt with the Xbox One X, and now the Series X. That power is not a thing. The new Xboxes are not underpowered. They're the most powerful consoles. And the next thing after that, the narrative to hate on Xbox for was its game portfolio. And rightfully so. Yeah, Gears, Halo, Forza is really all it's had and all it's been. And now Xbox is finally invested, and I'm really excited to see it, especially like the initiative, what they're working on. They're supposed to be a hugely talented, like the Naughty Dog of Xbox. I cannot wait to see what they're working on, among other things, man. Like they're really trying to change the narrative of Xbox, and I'm honestly excited. And I will always be an Xbox fan. I've grown up with Xbox. I've never been a PlayStation fan. Xbox and Nintendo have been my two main systems of choice, and I will always support that. But I am not a fool, and I can admit that Xbox had several issues this gen, and I'm really looking forward to the future because I think they're very self-aware, and they know what they need to do to win gamers back, and I can't wait to see it, honestly.
So how about this? Halo Infinite, they say, hey, multiplayer is ready to go, like now, but campaign needs like another 6 months. Would you be okay with a split release of Halo Infinite in that case?
Very good question, Kevin. And I'll tell you how I feel, but also, you know me, I try to look at both sides of things. So how I personally feel, I don't think it's a good idea. I think Halo should always be a full package game. Halo 5 was notoriously criticized for its content offerings at launch, but to 343's credit, the best post-launch support any Halo has ever received with Halo 5. It got a bunch of stuff, constant updates, years and years after they were still updating it. Look at MCC now. How much updates it's getting. We're still talking to MCC this day. We're still talking about MCC news. I've built my channel off of MCC news. I'm late to the whole Halo game, but ever since the PC release announcement, I've been making videos and it's been sustaining my channel. Like, that's crazy 4 or 5 years later that we're still talking about these games. So give 343 credit there. But I mentioned this in my video. I'm kind of greedy in the fact that, it's not necessarily greedy because who doesn't want a full content launch, of a game? But Halo needs to launch campaign, multiplayer, Forge, custom games, custom game browsers, ray tracing, all the features we expect out of a huge AAA release, especially one that's been worked on for the past, we're going to be 6 years now. 6 years since Halo 5 by the time Infinite releases. And, I think that's plenty of time.
Series to get rebooted within 10 years,
Yeah, exactly. That's like GTA level or Red Dead Redemption, size, and that's open world, huge games with multiplayer offerings, with, just huge games that you spend hundreds of hours playing just the campaign alone, and then you switch to multiplayer. That's how long you usually wait for games like that. So, I would definitely like to see Halo launch, like I said, full blown, all the kind of stuff that we expect, and then some. Like, I think custom game browsers should be there day one. I think, RTX should be there day one now that the delay is happening as well. But I would be remiss
not about RTX coming early,
right, as a patch, right? Which by now we think that's definitely going to be there.
At launch, for sure.
But I would be remiss to say that selfishly I am kind of tired of waiting, man. We haven't got that much info on Halo Infinite. I would love to play. Even if it's a beta, make a beta a few months long or whatever you got to do, or make it early access if you want and let us play it. I'm not against that. I'm not completely against that. You guys already know my first choice is to launch it all at once, complete package. But Halo Infinite is a different beast than any other Halo we've seen. It's a free-to-play multiplayer. Fortnite has been in beta for freaking how long? I don't know if it still is, but either that or it just recently went full blown, all right, it's released now. And that thing blew up. So I wouldn't be against completely playing Halo Infinite a little bit early because I've waited almost 6 years for this game. I don't want to freaking die before this game comes out. If I die before Halo Infinite comes out, I'll be pissed. I've been waiting so long for this game, and I'm really, really looking forward to this game because I really think it's going to put Halo back on the map. I think 343 really has a solid direction of where the fan base wants to go, where they want to go with Halo. We know it's a 10-year game and that's the most exciting thing, that what we've seen from Halo 5 and its support over the last few years, and we know that Halo Infinite is a 10-year game. If it launches in a complete state and then we get the support that we're expecting from 343, like what they're touting, it's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be awesome. Like I said, MCC is a great example of how they've been supporting stuff. If we get that with Infinite, we get expansions, new DLC, new features, new customization options, new game modes, new maps. It's going to be insane, man. I cannot wait to see where this game goes and how long it lasts. And that's exactly what Halo needs, is to be a pillar in the gaming, a staple in the gaming community for years and years to come. And they've committed to that with Infinite, saying it's a platform and things like that. Like, I am super hyped about that and the future of it. And as a content creator for me and you, that's music to our freaking ears.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to cover a game and to cover new stuff consistently, like, that's awesome. But I think I speak for most of us in the Halo community. We would like to either see more stuff on the game. If you're going to release it all at once, show us, please. Show us some multiplayer gameplay. Show us, where's the Vidocs and stuff that give us a little bit of an insight into the development. Like, give us some more info, or release a flight or a beta and let us play it and help with the development. I mean, that helps them too, I don't mind that. But what are your thoughts about a segmented launch versus a full release?
I think if say like multiplayer is ready, would be ready by the spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
The campaign wouldn't be ready until like
Holiday,
fall. Yeah, holiday. Because if we're going to do a split release, that's how I would see it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, I would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I would think you would have to release multiplayer first, though.
Right.
This campaign's gonna be great. There's gonna be a lot of replayability within it, but most people are gonna play through that story and just drop it after that.
Right.
Unless they're trying to do like some kind of like live service kind of thing with the campaign, which possibly it might sound something like that.
Mm-hmm.
With the 10-year plan, I think you're definitely gonna need to update the campaign side of things.
Yeah.
So we're not quite sure exactly how they're going to be doing that.
Well,
kind of
that
stuff.
too, and the size of the campaign. We know Halo Infinite's going to be a huge open world-esque.
It's going to be like a 300 gigabyte game.
Yeah.
But like, I think if you're going to split the releases, if it's going to be like a spring fall release kind of thing for Halo, then I would think you'd have to do multiplayer first. You can't do campaign first because like at least you'll keep talking about it. It'll still be in like the gaming sphere. Things talking about new season and multiplayer for Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds more exciting than a once a year content drop for like story content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so at least people will still be talking about playing it. And there's a lot more replayability within the multiplayer than there ever is with like the campaign.
Yeah.
Just because I think just general fact, that's how multiplayer is.
Mm-hmm.
Though if we're talking like a 3-month difference between multiplayer or campaign being ready, vice versa, then I say just wait 3 months and release it all together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like my thoughts on it. Was that if there's a significant gap between the two, especially since we've been seeing with the 3 recent pro teams announcing their rosters, that it seems like you're kind of gearing up for something pretty soon.
Right.
I think I watched a Hidden Xperia video talking about this, and then you actually brought up a good point. Like, these guys are signed to these teams, Cloud9, Envious, Sentinels. Like, they're contracted to these people.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying them a salary. They're getting like endorsements and gear and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money being invested into them right now, not later. Not and like if we're thinking like a fall release of the game, why would they start doing this now? Besides just trying to get the good players now while you still have the chance, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's definitely not enough money there to support these players with these organizations with like these weekend tournaments that we're doing right now.
Right.
$2,000 split between an organization ain't much.
Right.
It doesn't all go to the players. They just get like a fraction of that. And so there was like a recent rumor happening on 4chan. Yes, it's a 4chan rumor leak.
Right.
They're not this. I would not take this at exact fact for like detail wise, but I think the idea of what they're presenting would make sense. There is, I don't think it has been announced yet, but there was like some promotional imagery that went out recently about an XO20, much like last year we had the XO19.
Mhm.
You know, and that's where they made the release announcement of Halo Reach on PC. And so it would make sense to have like this is like Xbox E3 event to kind of end out the year kind of thing.
Mhm.
And this is scheduled to happen like the day before the launch of the Series X on November 9th, which the Series X releases on the 10th.
Mhm.
And so I think it would make a lot of sense to showcase some kind of multiplayer side of things because we don't really know anything really
Not a
besides
damn thing.
besides
Yeah.
armor coatings
Right.
that are in the game.
Right.
And we know some weapons, and we know that like equipment is back, like in
And
Halo
a
3
render of a
style.
Spartan. We have seen zero gameplay.
Yeah, and that's why I think we're gonna see some gameplay. Like that's what part of the rumor was, that we're gonna see some gameplay. We're gonna see a new reveal of the campaign, like at least a new mission and stuff like that. And they've mentioned about how there could be like a spring release with like a early spring beta, which I think would make sense. And I've seen like these organizations sign these teams and players now, like a year in advance. To me, just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right.
Now, this is obviously it's just rumors, speculation. None of it's confirmed. But so like just thinking about it like that way does kind of make sense to
Right.
me. To me, what do you think? Do you think that might be a possibility?
I mean, it is a possibility. Like you said, it's a 4chan rumor, and 4chan is literally can go 50-50. It's not very reliable. There's, anybody could post anything and be like, hey, I got insight. My uncle is Phil Spencer. Yeah. It definitely makes you make a good. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Say what you gotta say real quick.
Now saying also about actually that Kotaku article saying that Phil Spencer did actually recently play Halo Infinite.
Yes.
Like within like a week of that interview.
Which he's probably constantly getting builds of Halo Infinite, yeah. I mean, that game's been playable for a while. I knew about people playing that game years ago. So, obviously it's changed, and it changes a lot from time to time. But yeah, Phil probably gets a build sent to him all the time, which is interesting, definitely. But
he did say there was like no updates when it comes to like the progress of the game, though.
Right. Which is what makes me kind of hold my breath, and everything you said makes sense. Like you said with the pro teams and stuff like that, that why would they sign them so far in advance? But they could be locking them up just so that they're signed and not a free agent for other organizations, because it is a competition still.
And there could be details within their contract saying like for Halo Infinite, you'll get paid this much.
Exactly.
Not for MCC.
Right. And, I don't know, like it's hard to set, like with the transparency that 343's had with MCC, we know exactly when certain things are coming. With Halo Infinite, we haven't seen anything, man. Like, we literally have the one gameplay trailer of the campaign, and that is it. And that's why I think, personally, that I think it's a little bit farther out than most people think, and that I think it's either a summer or a fall release. But if it is going to be a segmented launch, that throws a big wrench into the release. That, like you said, it could be something in the spring. What would you rather? You said I don't know if you really, like, if you detailed how you feel, like what you think could happen, but how would you feel? Like, what would you rather have, campaign first or multiplayer? Would you rather? Because I personally would rather have campaign first. Honestly, campaign's probably not going to be ready before multiplayer, especially the size of that campaign and the polish that's needed. But we literally haven't seen anything on multiplayer, so I have no idea how far along it actually is. But I would personally actually rather have the campaign first, because that's the first thing I play anyways. That way when multiplayer comes out, I have no distractions. I'm ready to go. I got all my achievements in the campaign. I've grinded the game. I've gotten everything unlocked. I did everything I needed to do, experience it, multiple difficulties, things like that, before jumping into the multiplayer. Because if they do multiplayer first and then release the campaign, I don't know, it's going to be hard to drag me away from Halo Infinite's multiplayer,
Very true. But I think it's like, if we're going to do a split release, it would have to be multiplayer. Like,
I agree that it should be multiplayer, especially free to play. We already know it's free to play. The fact that it's free to play, that should come out first, because that's going to get people more hyped as well.
It also kind of depends exactly how like the two sides will kind of connect with each other. I can't. I feel like I've heard this, and it's been confirmed almost, but I can't find it anywhere. But that's saying that like for co-op, you can have 4-player online co-op, and
Hmm.
you'll be able to come in as like your multiplayer Spartan, as like a co-op Spartan.
I haven't heard that. I did see that it was confirmed that 4 players would be Spartans, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
that it was confirmed that it was your multiplayer Spartan.
So if it was like if you're like bringing your multiplayer Spartan like you could like in Reach, like that would be freaking awesome.
Right.
So it also kind of depends exactly how the two connect, especially with the microtransaction side of things. Like, how is there going to be kind of any overlap when it comes to multiplayer and campaign customization for microtransactions and things like that?
Right.
You know, we don't know.
Yeah,
But
I don't think there would be, especially with the multiplayer being free to play. I think they'll keep all the unlocks and stuff to that, but you might get unlocks available to you, like unlocked after beating the campaign on certain difficulties or doing certain challenges in campaign. That might be a thing, but we like Reach is different because it's not a chief story, and Noble Six, the main character, is just a shell for the player to play as, and doesn't have any really attributes or anything, and that's basically the character's multiplayer character. With Infinite, we know it's Chief's story. We know you're playing as, at least one person's playing as Chief, so I don't think you would do multiplayer characters for the other 3 persons, but who knows? We'll see.
because I would really like that. I would love to have like
that's
your
cool.
Spartan being in the campaign.
Yeah, but then it takes away from. I mean, you probably won't see them in cutscenes and stuff because it's going to be Chief in all cutscenes. So
that's fine. I'd much rather just be able to have the ability to co-op rather than not do it at all. Kind of like I've always felt like with like Mass Effect, I've always wished there was co-op campaign or story
well,
mode like
there's
with Mass
gonna be
Effect or
co-op
something.
in Halo though, but it doesn't
yeah.
necessarily mean it has to be your multiplayer character because if you're not gonna see him in the cutscenes, then what the hell's the point,
No, but
So
I'm saying like
so somebody else can see your character.
You just take him out. They don't have to be in the cutscene.
Just take him out.
No, just take him out.
Just take him out.
I think when you're doing co-op, you're not exactly too concerned about the lore because you're usually too busy BSing with your friends online. You're like, wait, what's going on? Oh, shoot it. Okay, I'll shoot it.
You underestimate the Halo community when you say who cares about the lore. I got people argue with me about lore and freaking multiplayer.
I'm saying why you're co-oped, all right? Not when
people
like you're solo playing. If I was solo playing, I'm like, I want to know the details. I want to know what Cortana ate for breakfast that morning.
Yeah, but
because
people even argue about that stuff in multiplayer. Like, who gives a damn in multiplayer about lore? Just freaking play and have fun.
Yeah.
It should be gameplay over everything for multiplayer. Yes, lore matters in campaign. You want to have a consistent lore, nothing contradicting with other games or other mediums and stuff. I get that, but multiplayer, no holds barred, man. Let it be fun.
Have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Does that mean I think so then you're confirming that you'd be okay with like anime cat stickers for
oh hell yeah, dude.
Multiplayer Spartan armor.
Oh,
like
dude.
cat ears, like the gamer headset with the cat ears for like a Halo
dude,
Spartan.
If I could make it look like Batman ears, I'll fucking buy that shit in a heartbeat. You want my money 3 for 3? Do it.
You're working on that right now.
I'm working on it right now.
But yeah. So Halo Infinite, a lot of stuff coming around the corner. I think that November thing, it sounds pretty legit. At least we'll know some stuff by November, I think. Especially by the end of the year.
End of the year, we should definitely know something. Especially with the Game Awards, 3 for 3's holiday streams that they do.
I think we'll have a release date. I feel we'll have a release date by the end of this year.
Hopefully, yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Because Infinite's such a huge game. There's so many different things they can work on. Like, well, if we did a fall release, what can we add into it? What can be added in later? If we did spring, what absolutely needs to be in there? Kind of, and it's not just and there's like so many different teams, so many different aspects. Such a huge game that like I don't envy 3 for 3 at all. Trying to figure this out right now because it's so many. Like you're literally trying to spin like 12 plates at the same time.
Right.
You're like, well, maybe we could just have 10 plates. And then the 11 and 12 plates will come in like a month later, It's stuff like that. That's what they're just trying to figure out. But yeah, Halo Infinite, man, just let us know. That's all we want.
Just keep us updated.
Exactly. I think that's about all Halo Infinite stuff. We'll move over to the MCC news.
Yes, Halo 4 flight news. So, long story short, people, MCC Halo 4 flight, along with possible things like crossplay and what was it? Input-based matchmaking and region server selection. Was that supposed to be part of the flight as well?
Yep.
Yeah. So that things like that were supposed to be tested in the new Halo 4 flight that we were supposed to be getting late last week, as of you guys listening to this podcast. It has been delayed because there's been one Ring 3 blocking bug preventing them from going on ahead and pushing the button for the go-ahead on the Halo 4 flight. And Ring 3 would be actually the Halo Insiders, so the people signed up for the flight. Now, we have confirmation that they plan, hopefully, to get it out to us early on this following week. So if everything goes good this weekend, they can get that resolved and expect the flight to hopefully happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, first half of the week. If not, of course, me and Kevin will keep you guys updated. We'll probably make videos on it, so make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, because that's where you'll hear the news first. We'll, of course, address it on the next episode of the podcast. But if you guys want to be up to date, absolutely, as soon as possible, give us a follow on Twitter, give us a follow, or a subscription on YouTube. But, maybe with this flight being delayed now, maybe we'll actually, because they were tossing around the idea of not having crossplay at the launch of the flight and maybe doing it in a mid-flight patch. Maybe that gives them a little bit more time to work on that and hopefully have that at the beginning of the flight. It's not a really big deal that those kind of features are at the flight at the beginning because it's a flight. It's not a full release of the game. I would make a bigger argument for it for full release, but it's a flight. If they need more time to work on crossplay, so be it. As long as it comes at some point during the flight and we get to test it out before the final release of Halo 4. So that's about all I got for that. Do you want to add anything to it?
I think just it's a shame they were testing out with Halo 4. I mean, that's what they mentioned about, like, so that's why they're inviting everybody into this flight who signed up for it. They did mention if you missed the cutoff
it was
date
like Thursday
at Thursday at 3:20 p.m. Pacific Standard 20. After that, you could still sign up. You're just not guaranteed to get invited
to this flight.
I mean, again, like I would assume this flight that probably lasts about 2 weeks as well. If crossplay and input-based matchmaking and some region selection are not in there with the launch of this flight. So now they do have a little bit more time. I'm expecting either a Tuesday to Thursday release of this flight then. I'll definitely, like I said, we'll keep up to date whenever that stuff goes live. But I think it's kind of like a tough thing to balance right there because, like, if you have the highest population the game will have is on day one of the flight. And it's kind of, so from our experience, I'd say that, like, the population kind of dwindles after, like, the first couple days or so. And then you just kind of have people who kind of just, like, your diehard Halo fans that keep returning to play again.
Right.
Especially with this being Halo 4, I think they might be kind of relying on a lot of people to jump into this flight who haven't been invited to a flight before. Because I know there's a lot of people. I see it in the comment section all the time. Be like, I never got my invites. I haven't been in one. 343 meaning why? Oh, they favor their content creators more than their fans, and stuff like that. It's honestly, I understand that frustration though. But hopefully enough people are playing that multiplayer for Halo 4 to test out, get a proper test for these new features coming in.
It could have a good population. A lot of people seem pretty excited, honestly, for Halo 4. A lot of people who haven't played Halo 4 ever because it's coming to PC for the first time, much like Halo 3. It's definitely a polarizing Halo, but there's a lot of people out there who've never played it. So, and I think it's going to play good on PC. I think a lot of people will enjoy it for what it's worth. Especially,
I'm looking forward to actually having 60 frames per second.
That'd be
because
nice.
I play on the original Xbox, and playing for Halo 4 multiplayer, you're lucky to keep 60 frames going.
The original Xbox One.
And then they're also testing out another feature of the text chat as well. You can either hide it, and then apparently Sketch mentioned about moderating text chat, which should be it's more. I think what everyone really wants is that.
Yeah, definitely.
But so looking forward to that. We also have a new event for the MCC as well. Or unless there's anything else you want to talk about for Halo 4.
No, let's move on to the playlist updates here.
Playlist updates, more than just, hey, new game modes. We actually have an entirely new event going on right now as well within the Halo MCC. If you check it out right here, we can get, you have Shiny Snipes that came in, you have it for 44 and FFA. They moved out Griffball. Now for the Halloween event, it runs until November 4th. And then you have a chance to earn 2 new nameplates, the Shotgun Shell and the Spider Web nameplates as well. I think we do have a little bit of a preview for those right here as well. Here's the shotgun shell, and here's the spiderweb. Pretty solid looking nameplates. I like the spiderweb one probably the most.
Yeah, the little one's pretty cool.
Even though I hate spiders, but it still looks pretty cool though. So that'll be running until November 4th. Ends at 10 a.m. on November 4th there. And you have a chance to do that. Basically, you just kind of jump in. And I think with the shotgun one, it's just like get like 100
kills with a shotgun on heroic difficulty or higher in game modes, which I didn't test if it counts infection, because infection is, you had to play 10 matches of infection for the spiderweb one. So I didn't see if it counted towards the progress by, because it says any game mode, but then it says difficulty, heroic, or legendary. So I just went into custom firefight and just did a quick match of Reach Firefight customs and did it that way.
Yeah, so that's pretty easy ways to go about it. And then the spiderweb one looks pretty easy. It mentions it in MCC. Just go take a look at it. You could probably complete them both within like a single play session, really. Pretty easy to get.
I did maybe an hour and a half at most of grinding. Unfortunately, having to play infection because I am not. Yeah, I know Halo community. I don't like anything, but I'm not a big fan of it. My wife even walked in. She's like, "Why are you playing infection?" And I was like, she's like, "I thought you hate this mode." I was like, "I do, but I need this nameplate, and it's got a lot of XP. There's 50,000 XP tied for both of the challenges, so that's a nice little cushion there." Yeah,
because I think you get about like 20-ish thousand,
20 to 30 for the weeklies.
Yeah, for the weekly challenges or just gaming in general, really.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely a nice little boost of XP for grinding out that, because I think you and I are both trying to get blue shields before at least get up the blue shield stats before Halo Infinite comes out, which is going to happen. But
yeah, definitely.
Rather have it happen sooner than later.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
So yeah, get a chance to jump into that Halloween event, guys. Hopefully play that a bit. And then also, as always, we have some Halo 5 stuff as well. Yeah. I think the holy grail of XP gains is happening.
Yeah, Rock and Rail, right? Live right now. October 15th, yeah. Warzone Assault and Rock and Rail are live on Halo 5 during global double XP for the game. So all playlists are double XP, but Rock and Rail is definitely the way to go for really quick matches and max XP gains, 3 to 4 minute matches in and out, and it's really fun. So definitely, like Kevin said, the holy grail of XP grind. If you're still trying to get to 152 to get that exclusive reward for Halo Infinite for those who reach max rank in Halo 5. And then on the 22nd, we have Action Sack coming in for Rock and Rail.
Boo.
Yeah. And like Kevin said, Shoddy Snipers rotated in for on MCC for that playlist. Griffball has left. And it'd be cool to see some different. I feel like it's always Shoddy Snipers or Griffball. Like it's just like back and forth. Like, and yeah, we had Recon Slayer, Recon Spot sprinkled in there, but definitely it would be really cool to see some other. Like they did the freeze tag stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, I like that mode.
Yeah. And as of October 21st, there's a reminder that ranked playlists will be consolidating on MCC. So Halo 2 Classic, Halo 2 Anniversary, and Halo Reach hardcore playlists will be removed as standalone playlists, and they will rotate in monthly, starting with Halo Reach Hardcore. So then after Halo Reach Hardcore for the month, they'll rotate to a new playlist after that. So hopefully
people start playing it. Yeah, if people start playing when it's rotated, hopefully then I'll jump into back playing it, because I miss playing Halo Reach Hardcore. Like that was a lot of fun. Yeah. And like I got up to like level 24 or something like that before they reset the ranks, and then like once February rolled around, like everyone just stopped playing it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's really hard to find. Like the hardest weekly challenge to do every week is to find 3 competitive matches.
Yeah, like I'm level 13 or 14 with Halo 3's hardcore, and I can't find games.
Yeah, especially on PC. Like on Xbox, I always go to Xbox to do my ranked, because for some reason there is like me and Puma were playing team doubles Halo 3. We got matched against the same people twice in a row, and we just destroyed them both games. So on the third match, we got matched against again. They quit right at the beginning. I was like, easiest challenge ever, baby. Let's go.
Like I can't even find matches in Halo 3 though on Xbox. I'm like level 1.
Yeah, I mean, I was level 1 in doubles, and we found matches pretty good.
Like, you're playing
easily.
doubles. Yeah, I can see that doubles.
Yeah, and I actually could the week before I did Reach Invasion and found matches pretty quickly. I could not find Halo 3 Team Slayer or Hardcore.
I just want Invasion to move to social, man. Like,
yeah,
I miss playing that mode too.
It should be ranked.
I miss playing that mode so much. Like, and it's just like, these are old games. You know, they're just not. People don't really have the motivation to grind them out to like get good at them because like everyone knows Halo Infinite's right around the corner. And so why like try to flex your level 50 in Halo Reach Hardcore? It's just there's the desire just isn't there right now. I just hope that eventually we can just play some ranked hard, because I just miss playing those settings. Those like Halo 3 Hardcore is my favorite settings to play Halo on. And I just can't really get a chance to enjoy it, which is a shame. I have to play wonky Team Slayer with all these little didgeridoos that are all around the map, messing up my gameplay. Yeah, I don't want a power drain being thrown on me when I'm on a 5 kill streak. Okay,
right.
I'm about to get those rockets. Let me get those. Don't regen on me. Like, oh, looks like I don't have to move. I just doop 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 right here. Can't stop me. That's annoying. Anyways, so I think we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully people start playing hardcore. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, so I think we come around to the end of the show.
End of the show.
Right there. And so, again, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening in. Check us out on Podbean and Spotify. Links in the description down below. We have Pat, who has his own side of the internet. Pat, how would people be able to find you on the internet?
People can find me at the Patman Gaming on anything, on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitter, I said already, Twitch, and YouTube, youtube.com/the Patman Gaming. Thank you guys so much for listening and or watching. I recommend watching, but like Kevin said, if you want to,
save that
phone battery. We put a lot of effort into the overlays and the gameplay in the background and our beautiful faces for you guys to enjoy. So if you want a more interactive experience, go check out our YouTubes. And while you guys are there, make sure you click the subscription button for both of us, because we so generously link all of our social media links in each other's videos in the bottom of in the description for the podcast episode. So check us both out. Give us both a follow if you guys want to stay absolutely up to date on everything that's going on in the world of Halo. Kevin, just in case people don't click those links, where can they find you?
YouTube, KevinKoolx, Twitter, KevinKoolx Halo, Instagram, KevinKoolx, Twitch, KevinKoolx, and also, like I said, just check the description of the video or the audio, whichever one you're listening on. You can find us there pretty easily. And pretty straightforward right there. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. Stay safe, wash your hands, make sure you go vote as well.
That too.
It's voting season now. So make sure everyone gets their voice heard. Don't just complain about it on the echo chamber of Twitter. Be about it.
That ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah.
So go ahead and do that. I got my mail-in ballot like a couple days ago, like yesterday, so I'm looking forward to actually sending that in for sure. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching and listening, guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll catch you all in the next episode, probably talking about some Halo 4 flight and crossplay experience on that flight. So yeah, catch you all in the next one. For sure. And recording done.